An important person in history that I feel should not be forgotten is Dave Schultz. He was born in 1959 in Palo Alto, California, according to Internet. He was the son of two Stanford graduates. It was here in Palo Alto that he won a high school state wrestling championship. After he finished high school, he went on to the University of Oklahoma State. He only wrestled here for 1 year until he decided to transfer to UCLA. When he transferred to UCLA, he was actually forced to sit out a year due to the NCAA transfer rules. During this 1 year period, UCLA actually got rid of their wrestling program, so he was forced to search for another home. He ended up going to the University of Oklahoma. It was here he won an NCAA Division I National Wrestling Championship. Following his college career, he won both world and Olympic championships, and later he was invited to stay, live, train, and coach at Foxcatcher Farms by John DuPont. John DuPont was a rich heir to the DuPont family money. He created something called Foxcatcher Farms, which was a state-of-the-art wrestling facility, and he built it to rival the Olympic Training Center at the time. So he would invite world and Olympic caliber athletes to come stay there and try to achieve their Olympic and their world championships. He was kind of always seen as a little bit off or a little bit crazy by the wrestling community, but everyone looked past it because he was putting so much money into Foxcatcher Farms and he was doing so much good for the sport. However, after many years, his delusions and his hallucinations slowly got worse and worse. They were getting more intense, and he was getting more paranoid about everything. And eventually he shot and killed Dave Schultz in front of his wife and in front of his daughter. It's because of this murder that I feel Dave Schultz should not be forgotten in history. He was one of the biggest names in wrestling at the time, and he still had a lot left to give to the sport and to his life. I feel that he easily could have won more world and more Olympic championships had he continued wrestling. I also believe that the wrestling community could use this as an example to prevent anything like this from ever happening again. It was a great tragedy that he was shot and killed like this, and I believe that this community and any community should not look to repeat this mistakes that we made again. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, John DuPont's delusions and his symptoms of mental illness were mostly just ignored, and people played them off as him being excited and him being passionate towards Foxcatcher Farms, but now we can see that that wasn't completely the case. Overall, I believe we can learn from our mistakes and prevent anything like this from happening again. It goes without saying that Dave Schultz has tremendous wrestling accomplishments, and according to Internet, he was also a kind and a good-hearted person. Based on the kind of person that he was and our shared passion in wrestling, he's an easy person for me to look up to, and because of that, I feel personally connected to him. Overall, I feel like Dave Schultz is an important person in history that should not be forgotten, and he's someone that I feel personally connected to.